Hello, and welcome back once again to Doomed, solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror, the card game with a focus on roleplay and storytelling. Today, Silas Marsh continues to uncover what, or whom, is the Innsmouth conspiracy. And today he will be venturing to Devil Reef, which of course, as I posted on the Discord recently, nice place for a picnic? I think we're going to find out. You'll notice I do now have the chat on the screen, if it's at all, hopefully it is at all visible once we get into the game as well. We'll see how that goes. It's like I'm doing everything for the first time on these streams. Sometimes I am. As always, of course, let me know if there's a nice balance between some nice atmospheric music and my voice as we jump in. As always, if you're watching on the VOD, head down below. I've linked to where we actually start the scenario if you're here for that sweet, juicy gameplay. And if you're here for the ride, in terms of the story, I'll be doing a recap, and we'll be reading today's intro, and we'll be talking about what Silas Marsh is going to be up to in Devil Reef. So welcome one, welcome all. I'm happy to have you here. The Crosshair, Aragwen, listening mode engaged, fantastic. Are you going to be taking in the sound of my voice along with some candles, Aragwen? Crosshair, I'm writing it down. You have now committed, well, sorry, Agnes has now committed to having this written. No, that's actually an important piece of paper. Let's not write numbers on that. Hey, oi, Oh, what we got? -1, 0. Bless. I hope I have some bless in the bag by that time. Elder sign. The bless is like in brackets. Okay. Do I have much more to say? I don't think so. I'm very excited to be continuing. Someone's been commenting recently on the oh, Aragwen, get yourself. Wait a second. Are you over caffeinating again? You do you. Aragwen, enjoy it. I love it. Have fun doing what you do. And yes, as Crosshair says, drive safe, land safer. Ideally, you don't have to land your car, but, you know, if you do, just land it safely. As someone pointed out on the YouTube VODs for this series, this has been devastating in terms of a win-loss ratio. Silas Marsh is currently 0 for 3. Now, I will point out a couple of things in that vein. One, it's all about the story. And Silas Marsh the Sailor is getting his ass kicked by the Innsmouth conspiracy, and that's fine. 2, he is a survivor, so he takes a bit of beating and keeps on going, no big deal. 3, he was never really gonna survive the Devil, is it Devil's Pit? It's not called Devil's Pit, let's find out what it's called here. I think it's Pit of Despair. He was never really going to get out of the Pit of Despair or in too deep easily. So there's that. The vanishing of Belina Harper was quite sad, but, you know, we know kind of where we got to with that. And he has discovered at least one member of the Esoteric Order of Dagon, Joyce Little, the bookstore owner, which is exciting. But today, of course, we are not doing anything involved with those previous scenarios. We're here to play a new one. We're here to find out why Silas Marsh is venturing off to Devil Reef. The rise and fall, the fall and fall of Silas. If we had a prequel, Crosshair, it would be called The Rise of Silas Marsh. It'd be Silas Marsh standing on top of like dozens of dead pirate bodies, holding a gun in one hand and like, I don't know, a buxom person in the other. He'd have an eye patch on, he'd be smoking a cigar. It's Duke Nukem. He'd be Duke Nukem on a ship. Okay. As always, we're going to start with our intro here. 4 physical trauma. Is that right? Yeah. Oof. Eesh gabish. I know. I'm very happy to talk about that, Crosshair, because it is just... Well, I mean, there'll be other people joining us at some point, I'm sure, but happy to mention it. To those who are in the chat now... well, actually, for those watching on the VOD or who don't want things spoiled for them from the upcoming The Scarlet Keys... don't pause the video, but skip about a minute ahead, or I'll put my hand up when we're done talking about it. They've revealed most of the cards in the pack, most in the deluxe pack, most of the investigators, and today there was a reveal for the Seeker from the pack, Vincent Lee, I think is his name, the Doctor. Now, you'd think, oh, he's a doctor. He probably heals people. Sure, he heals people. When he heals people, you get a bonus. That's nice. But his tools are all like bone saw and like, on the mend. And all of the art around him, he's like covered in blood. He's not a surgeon. He's like a butcher. So, of course, I messaged the Crosshair and I was like, Dr. Surgeon MD. Very exciting. We're done talking about the Scarlet Keys, or at least I am. Let's get back into it. 4 trauma. What a disaster. I did not spend any of my experience because I was not allowed to. If we recall correctly where we left off, Silas Marsh was venturing through Innsmouth with Alina Harper, trying to get to the vehicles. He was surrounded by creatures, managed to take refuge, and made it out eventually. Huzzah! I mean, that's going to be fun, Crosshair. Oh, and the very last thing that happened was she got us in her car, or a car, and she says, "Where to now?" And then the rumbling of the engine, oh, the vision's fading, oh my god, I hear things, and Scenario 4, Devil Reef. Friday, September the 2nd, 1927, 3 weeks earlier. The rumbling of the boat's engine startles you from your thoughts. "You're right there," the ship's captain growls. "You look like you've seen a ghost. Pale as a sheet, you are." You turn and face the grizzled old man, Mr. Moore, not to be confused with our Coast Guard captain, Jacob Morrison. Mr. Moore was the only ship captain you could find in Innsmouth who was unafflicted by whatever curse or deformity has gripped most of the town. Do you have any ship's captains, how can I say this, that don't look like half human fish hybrids? Yes, good point, Aragwen. Oh, and that's exactly 95 years ago. His apparent humanity, however, has done nothing to spare his broken teeth, crooked jaw, or massive scar torn down his right cheek. Still, he is a welcome sight, considering the way the rest of your investigation has gone. So true. "Can't believe you want to head to that accursed Devil's Reef," he exclaims, shaking his head. "It's a fool's errand." You point out that the sailor was happy enough to provide passage after you showed him his payment, earning a raspy chuckle out of him. You got me there. Ha ha. Now get ready. We set off in 10 minutes rather than days, I assume. He stumbles from the main deck into the bridge to chart a course while you prepare for the journey ahead. Check the campaign log. If the mission was successful, ha ha ha. Of course it wasn't, you fools! This was the mission to find Alina Harper. If the mission failed, skip to intro 3. Agent Dawson boards the ship at last. Heavy bags hang under his weary eyes. "All of her leads are cold," he says, with resignation. Whoa, so weird. "Wherever Agent Harper is now, she's beyond our reach." You attempt to console Dawson by reminding him why you've chosen to investigate Devil Reef. The rumors say it's haunted, or perhaps infested with some manner of devilish sea creature. The sailors of Innsmouth speak of silhouettes crawling in and out of caves along the reef's many islands, of strangely misshapen fins sighted along the surface of the sea, and of entire boats crashing against the jagged rocks and vanishing beneath the waves. "You're right," Dawson admits with a sigh. "Whatever happened to Agent Harper, it has something to do with the Esoteric Order of Dagon. That book that was slipped under your hotel room door is evidence enough of that. And if my hypothesis is right, the ones who have been spreading these rumors about Devil Reef are none other than the Order themselves. If that's true, there must be something they're hiding." You nod and begin preparing for the mission. Agent Dawson gazes at you inquisitively the entire time. "Why'd you stay?" he finally asks. "You could have left Innsmouth after we failed to rescue Agent Harper, but you chose to stick around. Why?" Truth be told, you aren't sure. Perhaps it was a sense of duty. Perhaps it was curiosity. You shrug and you tell him, "Doesn't matter. You're here now, and there's no going back." Your admission earns you a smile from the hardened vet. "Right. Let's go find what they're hiding," he says. Proceed to set up. Why would Silas have stayed behind? He could have, after the vanishing of Alina Harper yielded nothing, he could have just left. He probably got paid some money up front, a deposit. I like to think, I don't think he's, trying to make sure that the mission is successful. I think that now he's come home, he's realized that something has happened to his town. Something has happened to his family, to the place where he grew up. And he wants to know what it is. Okay. Search each investigator's deck for Alina Harper and remove her. We don't have her. Check the campaign log. If the mission was successful, nope. If the mission failed, shuffle Thomas Dawson into that investigator's deck. Okay, so we don't have access to the man, the myth, the legend right away, but he's in there somewhere. It's no bad thing. Save that. Quick other setup notes. Is there anything I need to mention here? We're setting keys aside. We're putting things into play, setting stuff aside. There's a setup button I'm going to press momentarily. I'm just wondering if there's anything here. Check the memories recovered section of the campaign log. Just depending on the following circumstances, a different version of Agenda 1 should be used. If a battle with a horrifying devil is listed under memories recovered, use Agenda 1A, Secrets of the Sea. I would be thrilled, Crosshair. A battle with a horrifying devil. So we are going to use this agenda. Ooh. I don't actually know. Whoop. Oh god, don't get off the stage. Okay. Flood tokens, yada yada. Keys. During this scenario, keys represent the following: red, blue, green, yellow, various devices used to gain entrance into deeper parts of Devil Reef. Purple, a strange idol. Black, a mystical headdress. And white, an unholy mantle. What are these things, you might be asking? I'd love to know. So our setup, we start with one location, which I'll look at a bit more closely here. I actually just have to hit this button. Done. Done and done. And then, aha, there's the unfathomable. Okay, so, yes, I should actually look at the ruling here. Location, adjacency, and vehicle. So there are some additional rules, which I think will be interesting. During the scenario, island and cave locations are arranged in a set pattern. New locations emerge below, to the left or to the right of some islands, because it's a reef, right? You're going to different islands. Island locations and churning waters are not adjacent to one another and are instead connected through they are not adjacent, they are connected. During the scenario, adjacent locations are considered to be connected to one another. Yes, Crosshair, a notepad. I will go here and read it. It says, without looking at any revealed sides, randomly remove one card from each pile, shuffle and set aside the remaining cards, or use the helper. I used the helper. So I'm going to throw this away. So we'll look a bit more at the setup in detail here. Essentially, yeah, locations are still adjacent if they're right next to each other, but they're also connected through the connection icons as described. Vehicles. An asset with the vehicle keyword represents a vehicle. Great. It follows these rules. So, when my mini card is on the vehicle, I am in the vehicle. While my card is on a location, I am not in a vehicle. As a free trigger ability, an investigator may enter or leave a vehicle at their location. Each investigator may perform this ability once each round. I assume that means you cannot enter and leave a vehicle in the same round. That's the sense I get. That would make sense. That's the ability, enter or leave. An investigator who is in a vehicle is also at that vehicle's location. While you're in a vehicle, you cannot move independently of the vehicle. I mean, it's all very logical, right? If you get in a vehicle, a car or a boat or whatever, you can't then also go wandering around. You're at the mercy of the boat. Vehicles generally have one or more abilities that allow them to move to a connecting location. As the vehicle moves, everyone in the vehicle also moves. Vehicles don't alter enemy movement or engagement in any way, unless otherwise noted. So, important detail, because we're going to get to why momentarily. Silas is starting here, not in the vehicle. Let's actually check that. We start... I actually should know that for sure. We can begin play in the fishing vessel. Okay, cool. Actually, that is good. That's very good. Let's have a look. So, we start at Churning Waters. It enters play fully flooded, even while unrevealed. Far out at sea, despite a high tide, I glimpsed a long black line, scarcely rising above the water, yet carrying a suggestion of odd, latent malignancy. It looks a little loud, actually. I'm going to turn that down slightly. Here's the fishing vessel. This is, of course, the ship that we are on, right? While you're in this vehicle, treat your location as if it were unflooded. Action, move the fishing vessel to a connecting ocean location. Connecting is the key word here, because Churning Waters is connected to all of the Devil Reef locations, which are ocean locations. But they're not connected to each other, right? So, although I can use the boat to move fishing vessel to a connecting ocean location, so I can travel from island to island directly without going back through churning waters. No, I'm sorry, that's a lie. I can't do that because they're not connected to each other. They don't have the same icons down here. So there's that. If you go to an island, unless there's other information on the other side, you then have to go back through the churning waters. Devil Reef. As I glimpsed it, I could not help thinking of all the hideous legends I had heard in the last 24 hours. Legends which portrayed this ragged rock as a veritable gateway to realms of unfathomed horror and inconceivable abnormality. As we go to the various locations, other locations will become available, right? As we go to... Hey! What the heck is happening here? What the heck is this? Crosshair, what are these symbols? My goodness. So strange. As we explore, we're going to be going to different parts of Devil Reef, which will then maybe become connected to other parts. We'll have to see. But we've got this boat, which is useful. Let us read the agenda and the act. And then I think we'll just see where we're at here, right? Agenda 1A, Secrets of the Sea. The sailors along the docks of Innsmouth eye you with suspicion as you depart. The lighthouse beacon at the top of the nearby cliffside provides your only illumination as you head deeper into the fog. Important note here, as an additional cost for you to move from an ocean location to another while not in a vehicle, you must spend 2 actions. As an additional cost. That's because swimming from island to island is not recommended. It's very choppy, even for strong swimmers. Forced. When your turn begins, if you are at a fully flooded location, but not in a boat, you struggle for air. When your turn ends, if you do not enter a non-flooded location, take 5 direct damage. If you start your turn somewhere fully flooded, you struggle for air, you gotta get out of there and get some air. Easy. 9 doom. Seems generous. Act 1A, Reef of Mysteries. Somewhere in these accursed reefs, the Esoteric Order of Dagon is hiding something big. But what? Keys can only be claimed from Yahanlithle locations using the free triggered ability on those locations. Objective. Find and claim as many of the following keys as you can from Yahanlithle locations. Purple, white, black. If you control all 3 of these keys, advance. If we recall, the purple, white, and black keys represent, like, idols, headdresses, something else. Like, they represent relics, right? I'm going to grab this card and bring it down here. I think I'm going to need that later. Okay. But I think that's about it. We know what we're looking for. We're looking for information regarding the Order of Dagon, or what the Esoteric Order of Dagon is hiding in Devil Reef. In order to do that, we need to find keys, purple, white, and black. Vihai Nathle? Vihai Nathle? Okay. So I think that just about does it for us. We're going to draw our opening hand and see what we kind of end up with here, and I'm gonna hope to not get doomed. Let's jump in. Crosshair, you beautiful bastard. Why? Okay, so we're keeping Thomas Dawson. I don't really need the keepsake because Thomas Dawson has 3 sanity, so I'm going to toss it. Take heart is great for money. True understanding is a good clue. Tool, but I really want a weapon. So what am I throwing back? Everything? It's true. It's very true. Am I throwing back everything? Because I won't be able to play anything else is the problem. So I think I need to keep the courage and the take heart, and I'll mulligan 2. Crosshair, look at you! Hey! Hey! So this is Jacob Morrison, the Coast Guard captain. Wait a second, are you psychic? Yeah, Crosshair, are you predicting something from beyond? And Daring's a good, nice little fighting card, which we'll keep. I can't play them both. I don't have 2 ally slots. I'm not charismatic. Thank you, Crosshair. But I will probably start with Thomas Dawson because that feels useful. Okay, let's jump in. Silas, basically, like, you know, as the ship putters out into the waters, he confers with Agent Dawson. You know, last time when they went off, they split up to cover more ground in Innsmouth, and look how that turned out. He convinces Thomas Dawson the best course of action is for them to stick together. So that's 4 resources, but I get +1 will and +1 combat, and I get a card draw ability, which is nice. Second action, I think we're going to straight up move to one of these islands. Crosshair, any of these islands feel good to you in particular, Mr. Lucky Luck? There's top, left, bottom left, bottom right. Makes a nice little pentagram, that's right. Pentacle, pentagram, doesn't matter. I like it. Perfect. I'm not an ambi turner, but you know. So second action, we're going to move the fishing vessel to Devil Reef West. I'm going to put him up here. And I guess we'll have a little looky-see. So we are considered to be in the location. I'm just going to double check that. An investigator who is in a vehicle is also at that vehicle's location. So we reveal it. Salt marshes. Yar, what the heck is this? Salt marshes. Good lord. I mean, Silas Marsh would probably be drawn to the salt marshes. And it's at least kind of land-like. You could hide things out there. 4 shrouds, 0 clues. It's connected to Blue Triangle, which is the churning waters, and 2 other locations, which I cannot tell what they are. If you control the purple key, look at the revealed side of any tidal tunnels or unfathomable depths location in play. Limit once per game. We don't have the purple key. Forced. After you reveal salt marshes, increase its flood level. Put 1 random set-aside tidal tunnel into play adjacent to the salt marshes. I will. Free trigger. Move out. Third action. Hell yeah, let's go in the tidal tunnel. The air is frigid here, and there is no sound but the faint plinking of water dripping onto the rough stone ground. You shudder and proceed onwards. Is it too loud? Nah, it's fine. Excuse me. As Crosshair says, always turn left. Oh, almost immediately, Silas and Agent Dawson step off the fishing vessel where the captain waits for them. They venture out into the salt marshes and find pretty much right away a nondescript cavern, which opens up into a small room, clearly being used for bootleggers. There's alcohol distilling equipment, there's barrels of old whiskey. They are all very excited to have found it. This is a 4 shroud, 1 clue location. After Bootlegger's Hideaway is revealed, randomly choose one of the set-aside face-down keys and place it on the hideaway. Not one of the good ones. Sorry, not one of the goal ones. Action, if you control the white key, draw 3 cards. Group limit once per game. I don't. It also has victory 1, so I kind of want this clue and I kind of want this key. I feel like the keys are useful because they represent ways of entering further into the, you know, not the mythos, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, here we are. It's looking good. Thomas and Silas begin to poke around inside just to see if there's anything there. Unrelenting, I'll take it. And we go to 1 out of 9 doom. What do they find within the hideaway? I wish, Crosshair, that would be great. So I should point out the way that they've set it up, which is like, well, sorry, I know it's the way it's set up in the scenario. Purple, white, and black are like tied to specific locations, so they're not one of the random ones that you can choose. The random ones are blue, yellow, green. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. That was really stupid. Sorry. I'm actually gonna, now I know what key it is, so I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna take a new one out. Red, yellow, green, blue. That was very foolish. Okay, upkeep draws me an unrelenting. The Mythos phase, 1 out of 9 Doom, as Silas and Thomas Dawson look for any information they can find here. Classic. Of course, gurgling out of the darkness. Oh, it's blue now. Okay, cool. It's the sound of one of those creatures. Silas shudders. Hasn't he... He's fought some of these creatures before, certainly in Innsmouth, but he has a recollection of something that's never happened to him. He recalls going toe-to-toe with some of these creatures in caves just like this, but he's never been in caves just like this. Or has he? This is a lurking deep one. After it engages you, take a damage. It doesn't count as an attack, so it doesn't work for Thomas Dawson. That's okay. We go back to the investigation phase. Let's kick its butt. I am ready. I'm going to throw in an Unrelenting for a wild icon, which will put me at 6-2. This is a fight action, and I'm going to pull out all the bad stuff tokens, right? Tablet, cultist. Oh no, I really want to draw, actually. I do really want to draw. So I'm actually going to pull out a +1, a 0, and a 0. Because this draws me 2 cards, baby! And if I don't need it, I can return it to hand. So, immediately, Silas is leaping into action. He grabs one of the kegs and lifts it with a huge show of strength over his head. He's going to try to throw it, bowl over this creature. So I draw 2 cards. Keyring. It's a good thing. And let's fight, right? 6-2. Good. -1. Crosshair, I think that was correct. Yeah. Thanks, Agnes. So, Unrelenting, I don't need it, so I'll return it to hand. Put these guys back in. And we put a damage on the creature, which I don't love, but there you have it. Second action, we should go again. We should fight it again. I'm going to once again put Unrelenting in. This time, do I want to draw 2 more cards? No. Yeah. I should actually probably check what these are. No, okay, I don't need them. So I will once again, I'm going to draw 2 more cards because, you know, why not try to get all your weaknesses out early, right? Draw 2. Ooh, keep faith and brute force. Excellent. So 6-2. Once more. That's a skull. The skull is the number of keys that we control, which is a 0. I'll give you that, Crosshair. I'll give that to Agnes, rather. No, don't worry about it. You still got it. Still got it, Agnes. Boom. Silas is immediately following up on the rolled barrel. He leaps off of a table and smashes into the creature, knocking its skull against the cold surface of the cave until it lies still. Unrelenting has fired. I drew some cards. Put those away. Oh, hi, Ripley. And I'd love to play Keep Faith. Love to play Keep Faith. But I can't play Keep Faith and the Keyring. I kind of want to play one of them. Oh. What am I going to do as my last action is the question. Oh, yeah. I'll play Keep Faith. 4 bless in the bag. Silas is not thrilled. Of course, the creature now lying motionless restores a little bit of his hope that he can take on whatever Devil Reef throws at him. And he's going to start the search. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to search the bootlegger's hideaway for more information. However, because I only have 2 intellect, I'm not going to pass. So I'm going to put in a take heart. 2-4. Yeah. So that's a -1. Not a bless, unfortunately. But because I failed, I can draw 2 and gain 2. Woo! Not bad. Not bad, Mr. Silas. So we did fail, unfortunately. But we've got a dead creature enemy. The deep one rests on the floor of the bootlegger's hideaway as Silas and Thomas Dawson continue to look for more information. Upkeep draws us another Unrelenting and gains us a resource. We now have too many cards in hand. I kind of want to play the Trench Coat. I don't love it because I'm not going to have the money for it. So I think... What am I, like, not going to need? Perseverance, right, Crosshair? I learned my I learned my lesson. Don't worry. Two health soak is no bad thing. I think I'm wildly enough. No, I wouldn't toss that. Daring? Might toss the. I think I'm gonna toss the Unrelenting actually. Crazy town. 2 out of 9 doom. I'm gonna shuffle the encounter deck. They continue to explore deeper into this bootlegger's cave. It's not very big, but their torches continue, like their, flashlights continue to reveal more and more of the side here. What is this? Oh god. Hunting deep one. Ah! Splash, 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 splash. Another creature leaps out of what seems to be a small puddle, but is in fact a deep pool, and latches on to Silas. This is a humanoid monster, deep one. 3/3/3, Hunter. While it is engaged with you, you cannot enter vehicles or gain resources. After deep one engages you, if you're not in a vehicle, lose 2 resources. Well, that really kind of sucks the big one, as it were. I really had plans. Oh, I could brute force it. Maybe I should. Yeah. While it is engaged with you. Yeah, while it's engaged with you. I mean, this is the thing, right? Like, I mean, I should be, Silas should be dealing with this right away. Of course. Of course. The creature, immediately, Silas and Thomas are just like, okay, this is, like, we can't stay here. This is a horrible, horrible place to be. We're going to fight it. I'm going to, Aragorn, well, it's a fast drive, Aragorn. Welcome back. Brief summary, Aragorn. Silas and Thomas Dawson, his employer, have ventured off to the west where they found some salt marshes, ironically, and then a bootlegger's hideaway where they distill alcohol. Those tricksy rum runners, nothing else has happened. Sorry, I've been fighting monsters because the game doesn't like me very much. We're going to fight this thing. I'm going to try to defeat it all in one go. Oh, good. I appreciate that too, Aragorn. Don't forget, Aragorn, you cannot travel independently of the vehicle that you are inside. Brute force. Silas is right up close to this monster. It's sort of frothing and, like, making horrible clicking sounds in his face. He's just going to attempt to crush it. So I have 5 combat. Brute force says basic fight action, 2 icons, so I'm 8/3. If it is successful by 2 or more, deals +2 damage. Now I really don't want to mess this up. 8/3 means I'd really rather not mess this up. I'd have to get... I know exactly what I'd have to get. So I think I'm gonna be a little wacko here and commit another icon to it, which is the Unexpected Courage. So this is 8, 9, 10 to 3. -3. Success. I didn't actually need the courage, so I'll bring it back to hand and I'll blow this guy up. Yeah, well, exactly, Crosshair. Safe butt. It's used to be my nickname in high school. Silas, pulling courage from somewhere he didn't even know he had. He's now confronted enough of these creatures to know they bleed. And he snaps its neck in one fell twist, and it lies on the ground. Now, I really want to get the heck out of here. But I desperately need the clue and the key off this location. So, we're going to play the key ring. Obviously, this is not representative of... Well, it could be representative of a ring of keys here, because perhaps there is a small lockbox in the hideaway that Silas is going to attempt to get into. Last action, we're going to use the key ring to reduce the shroud by 2, so it's 2 to 2, and I'll throw in Unexpected Courage, this time again to be 4 to 2. A bless? It works for me. My covenant. Okay, so courage goes away, key goes away, we get a clue, and a key, and a victory point. Is it blue? No. Still, good stuff, Crosshair. Okay, well, we managed to do something anyway. Inside the lockbox, Silas and Thomas find a series of instructions that don't seem to make a lot of sense. It mentions sort of directions through a vast network of tunnels, then it mentions certain words. It seems to be words to say. Oh, it looks it looks blue from afar. They decide to take the information that they found with them as they venture on. Upkeep brings me another Keep Faith. And we go to the Mythos phase. 3 out of 9 Doom. I haven't gotten much out of this yet, so that's not good. And we draw an encounter card, which is not an enemy. If your location is unflooded, it is, so I'm going to again surge. Fuck's sake. This is the Deep One Predator, which is, I mean, it says humanoid, but this is just a fish. This is just like an ichthyosaur or something horrible. After Deep One Predator engages, so I would argue that on their way out, the creature roars and explodes out of the salt marshes. This is a 4/2/2 hunter. It says after it engages you, move one of your clues or one of your keys to the Deep One Predator. Forced when you defeat or evade it, take control of its clues and keys. I think we might be invading this guy just to get away from it for now, and I will regret that horribly later, but I think we want to just keep moving because I want to know where these other things are located. So yeah, I think really, unless I don't need to draw a card, so we're just going to attempt to evade this thing. Silas is going to essentially try to distract it by hurling rocks sort of towards it to force it to sort of back off, and then once it dips back under the surface for just a moment, he and Thomas are going to take a running start east back to the ship. Let's try 4/2. We're going to try evading this thing. A 0. It's a pass. So we take the clue. We evade the Deep One Predator. I'm going to second action move. Free trigger get on the boat. Third action, we're going to move the ship elsewhere. Where can we go? Orange, red, and blue. None of those are revealed, so we're just going straight to... Going back to... Churning Waters, don't leave me behind! Oh, interesting. It is interesting, Crosshair. I find it so fascinating that human beings are all so incredibly unique when it comes to their, like, how they perceive color, because of the cells in your eyes that do that, right? Everyone's got either unique amounts of them or they operate differently or, like, whatever. I think it's so fascinating. Because, like, no, not everyone has different, like, color blindnesses, but certainly the distinction between different shades, so different depending on who you are. It's really cool. Yeah, it's so interesting because that's, I mean, certainly not... I also have other blues on my screen to compare it to, but it's cool stuff. Okay, as the ship pulls away from the salt marshes, the roar of a creature hard done by comes back to them, and they decide they were never going to return. Enemy phase. Upkeep phase draws me a card and gains me a resource, and we ready the Predator, which is now coming for me. Great stuff. And we have a Lucky. Not bad. Mythos phase. 4 out of 9 Doom. Oh, not good. Okay, and we draw an encounter card. Horrors from the Deep. Horrors from the Deep, obviously, as they are out at sea, strange eyes begin to just bob above the water. Silas kind of motions them very carefully, and Thomas readies his service weapon, ready to try to frighten them off. Test Agility 2. If you fail, take 2 damage. This test gets +2 difficulty if your location is fully flooded, which of course it is, because I'm here at the Churning Waters. Huh. I like the theory. I don't know much about like cones and rods and all that stuff in terms of like ocular development, but I think it is really cool. Crosshair. Oh, you can't see any of the text unless I go over here. Ooh, the chat's gonna be mad at me. I'll try to keep that in mind. Or I could change the color of the chat. I'll do that later. Okay, so I'm testing agility 4 to 4, and I gotta take some damage if I fail here. That's no bueno. I also have nothing to commit, so I'm not putting this trench coat in. Oh god. I can't put in daring because it's not an evasion attempt. So I'm just gonna hope that I'm lucky. 4 to 4. Not good enough. Cannot lucky my way out of this one. The creatures spring aboard the ship, and Dawson manages to repel some of them with his service weapon, but Silas is struck in the arm. He's clawed down. He manages to kick them off the boat, but he is bleeding quite profusely. 6 out of 9 damage. Really bad news. Really bad news. That's okay. We go back to the investigation phase. I'm not loving it, but I am hoping that we can get more of these keys. Let's get the heck out of here. Crosshair, you said always go west. I'm going to get as far away as possible from this Deep One Predator. The Coolian, welcome to Doomed. Wonderful to have you here. Yeah, welcome. Normally I have other things to say. Ooh, right. Yeah, it is rough stuff up in here. The Coolian, brief sum up here. This is Silas Marsh, the very sexy sailor. Big fan. He is currently exploring Devil Reef, trying to find information about a cult that sort of keeps things out here. Oh, divinity with me on the second monitor. Hey, put me on the first monitor. Put your divinity on the second. Okay. Let's continue to explore, shall we? As I bleed out very slowly. First action, we're going to move down to the Devil's Reef. Don't die, Silas. This is the southeast corner. I don't have anything else to play right now, so that's okay. This is the Black Reef. This is the Black Reef here. Ooh, spooky. I'm gonna be right back, everyone. I just need to check on something super quick. Back in a sec. Hello, and welcome back to Doomed. Solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror, the card game, with a focus on roleplay, storytelling, and making sure that the mortuary demon does not creep back in. I still can't believe the Dr. Surgeon got that done. I'm really surprised. He's not very good at what he does. Okay, first action was to move to down here, which is the Black Reef, which, you know, if I'm being honest, looks pretty terrifying. After you reveal Black Reef, increase its flood level. Fine. Put 2 random set-aside tidal tunnels into play, adjacent to Black Reef, but not one another. That's fine, I can do that. We're gonna put one there, and one there, maybe. What else does it say? He was gonna be able to handle anything. Look, Aragwen, I'm still mad about it because it was so obvious how it worked and I didn't understand. Just infuriating. Then put one random set-aside Unfathomable Depths into play adjacent to both of those tidal tunnels. No problem. Boop. So, in terms of how they are connected, Salt Marshes and the Black Reef are not connected, so that's good. Silas can move to the Black Reef for free, and then he can venture into one of the tidal tunnels. As Crosshair says, always go left. The air is frigid. It's an underwater cavern. It's fully flooded. This is actually not necessarily a bad thing. The underwater cavern allows you to move to any flooded cave location. Now, the islands are not cave locations, but, like, this is, you know, Bootlegger's Hideaway is a cave, not flooded, but there's lots of different possibilities here. There's also a clue, but I think I'm just going to move on. I think, so Silas heads into the Black Reef and immediately dives into one of the, well, thankfully no, thank God. When your turn begins, if you're at a fully flooded location, you struggle for air. When your turn ends, if you do not enter an unflooded, partially flooded location or vehicle, take 5 direct damage. So, I can actually, thankfully, get the hell out of here. Because, like, I like to liken it to, if you start your turn there, you're already holding your breath and it's starting to kill you, right? Here, he's passing through the cavern. So I am going to take another action to pass through the cavern. Silas is going to venture down further into the depths. They had all kinds of cities on the sea bottom, and this island was heaved up from there. Ooh, the Temple of the Union. This is a 3-shroud 2-clue location. It says, after this location is revealed, put the set-aside black key on it. I can't remember what the black key represents. Free trigger. If investigators at this location control the blue key and the yellow key, and they spend 3 clues, take control of the black key, and read flashback 11. Agreed, and I still did it anyway. What are you gonna do? So, what is the black key? Let's go find out what it is, because I think that's important. A mystical headdress. Okay. Silas gasps for air as he emerges from the other side of this long swim that he took into a flooded, if massive, underground temple. There is sort of a tidal pool around which steps have been carved, and 2 large obelisk-like statues of creatures, the deep ones, one black, one white. There is perhaps even a crowd of creatures gathered around. He's going to try not to disturb them. In order to get the black key, I need 3 clues, and the blue key, and the yellow key. So that's not going to happen. Now, I could try to get the keys here, but I think I'm just going to run next turn when I can. Enemy phase, no enemy. Oh, sorry, that's not true. The Deep One Predator will move towards the salt marshes in an attempt to get closer to our good friend Silas Marsh. Upkeep phase, we draw a card, we gain a resource. It's nautical prowess. That's good. Yeah, exactly. I think it's doable if we get the other keys. We go to 5 out of 9 doom. And what's going to happen in here? This is, of course, a Yahan Lithle location. What did you say before? Something good, I think. The creatures are chanting. Some sort of horrible chant. It's mostly gurgling sounds. Malfunction. Well, that's not good. Attach malfunction to the nearest vehicle story asset. Action abilities on the attached asset cannot be triggered. Test intellect 3. If you succeed, discard malfunction. Little does Silas know, back up at the reef, the captain has run into some very unexpected engine trouble. But he doesn't know that just yet. Now does he? That's it, right? Investigation phase. Interpretation. Interpretation. Nailed it. I think I really want this meat cleaver down, and I just feel like I need some damage soak. And I need money for those things too. Well, we'll keep perseverance. That's no bad thing. I'm gonna throw in the meat cleaver here. I think I want to have that out. Silas draws his blade a blade silently from a nearby table and tries to sneak out. There's no way he's going to be able to get past all of those creatures yet. I'm going to move back up to this other tidal tunnel, which of course is also a flooded cave. So we're just going to keep moving. This is not fully flooded, so that's okay. And I could trigger onto the ship, which I'm going to do. We have to start working on the blunder. As Silas, basically, he, again, has to swim up through these fully flooded caverns. When he breaks the surface, the captain is standing there hat in hands, looking absolutely confused as Silas tries to relate to him what he saw down below. He's like, "That's fine, and there's all sorts of strange things. More important is how are we going to get out of here?" Points to the ship's engine overheating, concerned. Silas is like, "Well, I can lend my muscles. I can't do much else." They're going to have to deal with this malfunction if they hope to get out of here. That's the investigation phase. Enemy phase. The Deep One Predator moves ever closer. It only does one horror. It's not the worst. Upkeep draws us a card and gains us a resource. It's look what I found. That's fine. Need more money. 6 out of 9 doom on this agenda. The tunnel's flooded and the ship is messed up. Exactly. We are in big trouble here. And we have to go back to the waters, deal with the Predator, if I even manage to, like, get this malfunction dealt with. Which I might. That's my hope. Mythos phase, as they attempt to start working on this creature, on the engine. Aquatic ambush! Oh god. Oh my god! Put aquatic ambush into play next to the agenda deck. Forced. When you reveal a chaos token while attacking an enemy at a flooded location, reveal an additional chaos token. At the end of the round, discard a copy of aquatic ambush from play. This is a treachery. Basically, when you're at a flooded location and you are attempting to fight, while you attack an enemy, they will call for reinforcements. Very bad news. But that is not the concern right now. The concern right now is how the heck are we going to clear out this malfunction? I have to deal with the malfunction. Silas is going to use all of his knowledge of having worked on ships. Look, he's not a mechanic. He's not going to be very good at trying to repair this sort of thing, but he's seen enough busted engines before to figure out if it's even repairable and what they can do. I have 2 intellect. I'm going to attempt to test here. I'm putting in nautical prowess, which gives me 2 more intellect icons. So I'm 4 to 3. Bless and stop. The negative... Well, actually, I won't need. I don't need that, so I'm going to take it back to hand. No big deal. So, the gods smile upon Silas Marsh. Yar! He's able to... Somehow, it's the exact same issue that plagued one of his previous ship's engines, and he recognizes it, and he was one of the only crew members on board that was available to help with it. He's able to deal with it right away. Now, I think I want to go and handle this Deep One Predator, like, immediately, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to... Alright, yep, got it, Crosshair. And the blue one, right? Second action, we're going to move back to Churning Waters, where that same creature, or one that looks a hell of a lot like it, explodes out of the water, leaps onto the ship, and roars at Silas Marsh. Last action, we're going to attempt to kill it. That seems like a good shout, I think. I have to... So I have to take a horror... Oh, I don't have to. I'm going to fight it. I have 5 combat. 6. 7 with the meat cleaver. 7 to 4. I'm going to put daring in. You'll see why. Silas goes toe-to-toe with the beast as it roars at him. Thomas Dawson sort of tries to take a tactical retreat, but Silas realizes there are far too many of these creatures to show weakness. They back down, you're going to get mobbed immediately. He takes the blade, and he starts trying to duck in under the creature's claws to see if there's anything he can do. Yeah, so I'm fighting 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 4. Not good. Really not good. We have to reveal another chaos token. So I was at 10 to 4. Right? I was at 10 to 4. So that's minus 4 is 6 to 4. Bless. Minus 2. Okay, the bless and the minus 2 cancel out immediately, so we still pass. Remove the bless token from the bag. Daring draws me a card. And we manage to we heal horror as we defeat the Deep One Predator. Silas slashes into the creature's flesh, and it spews this dark black blood onto the deck of the ship. As it roars in pain, it sort of stumbles off the edge, splash into the water, and dives back down deep, 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 and far away. Done. Great. We go to enemy phase, no more enemies. Upkeep phase, we draw a card and gain a resource. Resourceful. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Too many cards. I'd rather... I want to keep Thomas Dawson around if I can. I'd love to put down that trench coat, but I just don't think I'm going to be able to. So I'm going to toss it. And we go back to the mythos phase. What have we done so far? Silas has, of course, killed many of these creatures so far, which is good. He found some information, some instructions to a hideaway. He had some instructions as to where the Order of Dagon might be hiding things. He found one of the keys. He found out where one of the relics is, but has no way of getting those things. We go to 7 out of 9 Doom, and we draw an encounter card. Oh, hi, Ella. Sorry, 2 seconds, everyone. Be right back. Hello, and welcome back to Doomed. Solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror, the card game with a focus on roleplay, storytelling, and defeating monsters, which aim to simply slow us down. A quick sum up of where we're at here. Thank you, Aragwen. I had to go and do a few things. But I appreciate you all being here to welcome me back. Silas Marsh is venturing out on this fishing vessel, trying to find proof that the Esoteric Order of Dagon is hiding something important here in Devil Reef. So far, he's found some directions to some sort of treasure or relic. He found an absolutely amazing underground temple surrounded by some of these, with massive statues surrounded by some of these deep ones worshipping them. But he had no way of kind of venturing further into the temple, so he has since retreated. Arr, the devil's seaweed again. Yar, Roger Twy. That would actually make a lot of sense, in the sense that Silas sure has been seeing a lot of funky things. So we go to 7 out of 9 Doom, and I haven't drawn an encounter card yet. No, let's draw an encounter card. Shapes in the water. Oh man, that guy is so scared. Did you see that? Test will 2. If you fail, take 2 horror. This test gets +2 difficulty if your location is fully flooded. Well, I really don't like that, so we're going to throw in our nautical prowess. There are indeed shapes in the water, but Silas knows as long as you continue, full steam ahead, and make sure that you have somebody watching all the entrance points for creatures climbing aboard, they should be safe. 3 will with Thomas Dawson, 4, 5 with nautical prowess versus 4, 5 to 4. -4. There is nothing to be done there. After a chaos token with a negative modifier was revealed, I can draw a card or I gain 2 wild. I don't think 2 wild is going to help me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 4, so it wouldn't help me anyway. I'm going to fail, so I may as well draw a card. Is that a bad idea? Yes, but I'm doing it. Good. And then I will... Oop! Hello, Crosshair. Welcome back. I have to take 2 horror. I'll put 1 on me and 1 on Thomas Dawson. Rough. The shapes in the water have indeed driven him mad. Silas Marsh, after you reveal a skill token, as a chaos token. Well, I'm going to... That is a lot of stuff. Wowie Maui, that's a lot of things. Yeah, I'm still doing it. I'm taking it back to hand. Yeah. Yeah, it sure is, Aragorn. Whoa, look at all these things. My hands can't hold all these cards. The shapes in the water have rattled the crew enough that Silas kind of, again, orders full steam ahead as we are going to go check out a different location. Always go left, as Crosshair says. We're heading down to... oh, I didn't realize we were out of music. I did, Crosshair, that's right. The creature ventured into the churning waters. We met it out in the waters, and Silas had a massive strike with his meat cleaver, or in this case, some sort of blade that he picked out of the temple down below. So first action is to move. Forced, after you reveal Hidden Cove. That sounds nice. Put a set-aside Tidal Tunnel into play, adjacent to it. Then put a set-aside Unfathomable Depths into play, adjacent to that tidal tunnel. So I'm going to do it like this, that way. I'm going to free trigger, move Silas out, and I guess I'm going to continue. Good old left. Nothing beats, yeah, good old rock. Nothing beats rock. I think we're going to move on and try to get more clues maybe or something, because I really want to get rid of some of the cards in my hand here. This tidal tunnel, aha! It's the underground river. We remember this. The cove, which is indeed hidden, it really looks like the island is kind of totally impenetrable, but the captain knows just where to aim the ship so that looming out of the fog, a small narrow entrance into a cove. The cove leads to a cave through which a river runs. After underground river is revealed, increase its flood level, no problem. Oh, looks like there might be a delivery coming. Excuse me for one more moment. There might be a delivery here. Lots of breaks today. Here we go, back in a second. Back in a second on Doomed. Have another break, bye. Well, well, well. Welcome back to Doomed. Solo playthroughs through Arkham Horror, the card game with a focus on roleplay, storytelling, and no deliveries. Crosshair, it was not your delivery of good luck. I appreciate it. I think you sent it last week, but it's been a while. It's been a while since it hasn't arrived yet, but I appreciate it all the same. Now, however, I did meet a lovely man coming down the road, so I'd say it wasn't a total fail. Oh. Yeah, anyway, the long story short, there's someone attempting to deliver something in a large van, but it's just being driven awkwardly like nobody's business. Anywho, where were we? Silas got out of the boat, with newly repaired boat, in this hidden cove, ooh, and has ventured further into the cove through the underground river. I know, Aragorn, it's totally, like, sorry, it was a big van that drove down here, went all the way to the end of the road, which is not far that way. Clearly couldn't turn around, backed up down most of the road, decided to try to turn around here, failed somehow, and then just drove out. And then eventually the guy from down the road was like, oh, you're looking for me, and now he's backing all the way back down that way. It's just totally crazy. Okay, what I really want to do is get both of these clues in one go. That's the way that we're going to do it. So, how are we going to make this happen? We are going to... I'm going to lucky our way into the... No, we're going to look what I found. So, I think Silas is going to try to stumble upon something in this cave. I want to fail this investigation by 2 or less to discover 2 clues. How am I going to do that? I need to get... It's 4 shroud. I need to get 2... I need to basically keep my skill level as is. So I think what I want to do, actually, is commit a couple cards. Seems good. I'm going to commit Resourceful and Hell. Why not? This is tough because what I don't want to do is commit too many cards and then fail. Or rather pass and get only 1 clue. So this would take me to 5. 5 to 4. If instead I just committed... No, I really want the Resourceful to go off, so... No, I don't, because I want to fail. So I'm just going to commit the Nautical Prowess to be 4 to 4. Come on, Silas! Ooh, might be perfect. The skull minus X, X number of keys, minus 1. So I failed. either draw a card or it gains 2 wild. Well, I guess I have to draw a card. Lol. But because I failed by 2 or less, I'm going to play Look What I Found. Here we go. 2 clues. I'm taking the clues because it's a victory point, and if nothing else, I'm coming out of this scenario with some goddamn victory points. And we still have a ton of cards in hand, which is okay. Venturing down the river splits into a few different forks. Silas and Thomas don't know exactly kind of which one to venture through. Like, this cove is, well, the island that it's sort of located on is quite large. The river could go on practically forever. Silas starts to head down one and just happens to sort of flash his flashlight around a corner. Well, it drops out of his hand and rolls, revealing a small side chamber blazing with newly lit torches. Look what I found. So I got the 2 clues, and we're there. So, enemy phase, upkeep phase, we draw a card, we gain a resource, cherish keepsake. What the heck am I getting rid of here? It's a lot of stuff. I guess the keepsake seems bad, but there you go. Mythos phase, we go to 8 out of 9 doom. Ugh. But we're very close to this other unfathomable depths. We're going to see what it is as we draw an encounter card. Riptide. Test agility 3. Oh god. They had to hop down into the water briefly to wade their way through, and Silas is caught in an incredible rush of water that pulls his feet out from under him. Test agility 3. If you fail, choose and discard an asset you control. If you can't, lose resources, but I have assets to discard. So I'm testing agility 4 to 3. I'm going to put in resourceful to this test because I feel like I want to pass. Can you be resourceful? Can you cling to the wall in time? 5 to 3. Oh god, that's probably bad. That is very bad. I'm going to take resourceful back to hand because I'd love for it to fire. If you fail and you are not in a vehicle, take 1 damage. Very bad news for us. Take 1, put it on me. Riptide also causes me to discard a asset. I'm going to discard this keyring. He does gets swept out from under him, and he scrapes along the bottom of the river until he can right himself. As Thomas Dawson kind of continues on after him. Man, I need those bandages. I need some money. I need all sorts of stuff. We go back to the investigation phase. What am I going to do with myself here? We still have perseverance. Resourceful and so on. So I think I'm going to move in. We're going to see if this unfathomable depths at the end of the underground river has anything for us. Uh-oh. The Deep One Grotto. I mean, that doesn't sound good. Obviously, this... the tunnel narrows and then opens up into a brightly lit cave. A hole naturally occurring in the top of the cave lets in sunlight, which somehow only serves to increase the horror of seeing these unnatural beasts in the cave. Forced, after it's revealed, increase its flood level. Put the set aside purple key on it. What's the purple key? It's not a headdress, it's... what is it? The purple key is a strange idol. Ooh. Free trigger. If the investigators at this location control green key and yellow key and spend 3 clues. Oh, okay. Well, that's less good, but at least there's no enemies here? Question mark, question mark? I don't mind trying to get clues off this location. I could also try to just, like... No, I should just keep moving, right? I moved in. That was 1. Did I do anything else? No. Don't really need these clues right now. We just need more of the keys, and the keys seem to be on the tidal tunnels. So, again, glancing around the grotto, Silas decides now is not the time to try to assault the creatures within. I think I'm just going to spend Is that a bad idea? No, it's okay. We're going to spend 2 more actions to go back out onto the ship. Silas is like, no, we continue our venture. There's definitely something down there, much like at the end of the, below the Black Reef. There was some sort of temple. There's things here, but there are too many creatures. How can we lure them out? Enemy phase, upkeep phase. We draw a card, we gain a resource. Too many cards. How am I going to hold all these cards? Of course I want to get rid of Perseverance, but I definitely need it. So instead, I'm going to ditch. Bish, gabish. Survival Instinct, I guess? Yeah. Mythos phase, we finally go to 9 out of 9 Doom. And we draw. Oh god. We advance the agenda. The Terror of Devil Reef. Emerging back out onto the ship and commanding the captain to venture further out into the choppy waters. Suddenly, the sea, despite the sun in the sky, the sea explodes in foam. Rolling waves, almost tsunami-like, batter the ship as Silas tries his best to figure out what the hell is going on and get his bearings. A creature rears its head, arms, out of the deep. This is an elite monster. Welcome, Weirdness. Welcome to Doomed. Happy to have you here. Weirdness, I hope you don't mind. This is clearly who you're playing in this scenario. This is the Terror of Devil Reef. An elite monster. It spawns with me at the fishing vehicle's location. It's massive. Hunter with Retaliate, 3 combat, 6 health, 3 evade. It cannot enter cave locations, and it gets +3 health, so it's actually 393. It's got us in its grip. It ain't going nowhere. Now's your chance. This is obviously the fight to end all fights. I think we're gonna try to crush this guy. Except this was my fate. Except I think we're gonna try to destroy it. Agenda 2A, the Devil of the Depths. Now you know why none dare venture near the Black Reefs. It's not just the strange sightings on the islands. There is something far older and more horrifying that dwells under the waves. It's got the same effects, basically, so if you're at a fully flooded location, you struggle for air, it's another 9 Doom. Let's draw an encounter card as we contend with the Terror of Devil's Reef. Of course, it's another enemy. Why wouldn't it be another enemy? Fuck's sake. After Deep 1 Bull engages you, choose and discard a card from your hand. That's like so bad. Okay. Just going down. Oh boy. Okay, so not only has the Terror of Devil Reef reared its ugly head, I thought we would have a bit of time to try to beat it down, maybe even take it out, maybe even get that victory point. But ruh-roh, look at this thing. This is the Deep 1 Bull, which is, of course, another humanoid Deep 1 monster. After an investigator defeats another Deep 1 at any location, it gets readied and moved towards that one. Yes, Aragwen? It seems to be bringing bad people with it, which I don't love. So there's that. Oh, yeah, Aragwen, I agree. I feel like Silas, he's here to uncover the conspiracy, but it's just every time he keeps finding more and more like friendly faces in the ocean. He's like, I just want to go to a mountain. I just want to go to like a landlocked country. Can you take me to Switzerland? Please. So, back to the investigation phase. This is actually, at least it's relatively straightforward. We're going to attempt to get Survival Instinct back, and then we're going to attempt to evade a few things and get the hell out of here. That's what we're going to attempt to do. Oh, actually, that's not going to work, is it? We have to evade them both separately and then move with the ship. Man, I really hope I can get at least one of these keys. Oh, I should have revealed this ages ago. Churning Waters has a resign action. I was at this location to start, so I should have revealed it. That's okay. Okay, Silas, buddy, what are you gonna do? I really don't want to keep fighting the bull here. I think I'm gonna evade it and get away. I do want to fight the Terror of Devil Reef, but, like, not now. Not with this other thing here. So I think we're going to attempt to evade both of them. That's the game plan. So. And then do I want to resourceful both things? I could get survival I could get brute force back. And I could get the key ring I probably need. Okay, well let's start by evading the Terror of Devil's Reef. Yarr! This is 5-3. We're going to attempt to basically start the boat up and maneuver it around the thrashing tentacles of this massive squid-like creature. 5-3. -1 is a success. I'll take it. Resourceful brings brute force back to hand. Thank you. And we've evaded it. Second action, we're going to evade the Deep One Bull. I have 4 evade. Do I want to use my resourceful? I probably do. I could bring back something else, which might be useful, like the key ring. Or maybe survival instinct or something. I don't know. Take heart. Oh, we got the bad stuff's coming too, actually. So yeah, let's do it. We're going to evade again, 5-2 this time. Skull, -1 is a pass. Just, he's basically attempting to, Silas is attempting, and then we're going to use the fishing vessel to move out into the churning waters again. Basically pull away from the cove as fast as possible. Seeing that a creature has made it up onto the boat, Silas is going to attempt to knock it off the back. It shouts as it falls into the water, but it continues to swim back towards the cove. Now there is much to do. What is interesting is that I have the green key. I can't get into the temple with the green key. The Deep One Grotto, I need the yellow key and some clues. That's okay. Oh, a little key charm. So cute. Weirdness, I love it. Enemy phase, no enemies to speak of. Upkeep phase, we ready the enemies to speak of. And we draw a card and gain a resource. Bandages. I really am going to need that. like super going to need that. So we'll keep it. Ugh. I don't like that this Terror of Devil's Reef's just hanging around. I really want to try to deal with that thing as quick as we can. We go to 1 out of 9 Doom. As Silas, I guess, is going to head to the game plan from Silas's perspective is try to find some way of drawing out the creatures from either the Temple of the Union or the Deep One Grotto. Find a way back in, and then get one of the idols that's in there. And I have to do that by the end of this agenda, so let's see how that goes. Encounter card is Deep One Assault. Disengage from each Deep One at your location. Each Deep One at your location and each connecting location engages you. Now, is Hidden Cove connected? I'm going to say yes, but I just have to check. Yeah, they're connected because they have connecting icons on them, so yes, they are. So, it's a deep one. This is not a deep one. So great, the Deep One Bull is here again. It pops up back onto the ship. I have to choose and discard a card from hand. I don't want to, but I have to. So I'm gonna throw out Perseverance, naturally. Just kidding. I'd love to throw out the Keep Faith, but I'm just gonna have to get that later. I need more money. And I'm not gonna even bother trying to kill this thing. Like, it's so not worth it. Oh, it's just so annoying that it's like here, you know? It's right in the middle of the churning waters. This is Deep One bullshit. It is everywhere, Aragwen, and we hate it. Now that it's emerged over the side, Silas is like, oh, come on, get down, we can, get it. He's trying to push the creature off the boat without having to actually tangle with it. He's got his blade, he's swinging it wildly. Let's see if we can evade the creature, because then we can pull away and, like, do something, which would be good. Mom. Aw, that's nice. 4-2? 4-2? Should we just go for it? 4-2? -1? That's good. We evade the Deep One Bull. Fine. Second action, we move this goddamn fishing vessel out of here to the Lonely Isle. I mean, that makes sense. Put 2 random set-aside tidal tunnels into play, adjacent to Lonely Isle, but not to one another. So that's fine. Not ideal, but it's something. I'm out of the way of the creature. Is the Lonely Isle connected to the Hidden Cove? No. So that's good. Oh, actually, I suppose I could update all of the connections here. Let's see. So they're all connected to sort of the back to the middle here, to Churning Waters. Just want to make sure that it's like as clear as possible for me what can go where, kind of thing. The Lonely Isle is connected to the Cross and the Diamond. So we'll do that. And then we will do that. Yeah, okay. Because now that we can do here as well. It's nice and confusing. The Black Reef is also connected to the Purple Star, which I have not found. Salt marshes are connected to... Okay. I actually might have kind of got this right. And this is connected to Green and Star. Okay. So they make a nice little round circle. I mean, it's very confusing. Oh, Silas has made it to the Lonely Isle where he's going to attempt to... Well, so I've moved. I'm going to free trigger move out, and I'm going to put these goddamn bandages down because I feel like the bandages are going to be very important here. We take a deep breath. He looks to the west, to the east, more tunnels that lead deeper under the Lonely Isle. Perhaps there is something there to be discovered. We go to the enemy phase where we are going to have the Terror move. It's going to move to the Salt Marshes because it can, and that's connected to the Lonely Isle. And then the Bull readies. Upkeep. I knew it. Leg injury. That's fine. That's fine. We needed the leg injury at some point. We knew it was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. Silas steps out onto the Lonely Isle and just taking one small step wrong, rolls over on his ankle, and he can feel that shooting pain up the left side of his body once more. Old sailors like him aren't meant to be out at sea for this long. He knows this now. We go to 2 out of 9 doom. As a reminder, the leg injury can be healed as if it were a single point of damage. After you take a move, resign, or evade action, you can't take any more of those for the remainder of the turn. So we gotta be very careful and try to heal it out as soon as possible. Encounter card, Shapes in the Water. Will 2. If you fail, take 2 horror. My location is not flooded, so I'm just testing 3 to 2. I'm gonna put in Take Heart to this test. 3 to 2. +1, so I'm gonna pass, so I'm gonna take the Take Heart back. The shapes in the water do not frighten Silas anymore. The shapes are merely the exactly weirdness. Could be flooded soon. They merely represent the, the shapes in the water are nothing compared to what he has already seen. Now, ideally, I do want to take some damage at some point so that I can heal with the bandages. I could heal out the leg injury, but I'm so close to dying, it's like kind of not worth it. Yeah, it's really bad, actually. Might just have to make it work. First action. With the leg injury, we can only hobble into the tidal tunnel, which is another underground river. Okay. It's a victory point. It's a victory point and some clues. What could I do with this? What could I do with this? I agree, Aragwen. Is right. Could play over Thomas Dawson with Jacob. Oh, and I still have Perseverance. That's actually going to be very useful shortly, I think. I think maybe we just try... Maybe we just fail for the clues and get some resources and stuff. Yeah, let's do it. 2 to 4. It's a bless. I'm gonna let it ride, weirdly. Oh, wow. Okay. Well. It's funny because I failed to fail. So the take heart does nothing, and I actually grab one of these clues, which is fine. Because now maybe I can get the other one. I won't be able to, but maybe I can. Silas stares at another tunnel running off into the distance, and with his leg on fire, he has no ability to even think about what to do. He needs to just return home. That's what he needs. Last action, we're going to attempt to get the last clue because I'll take the experience point if I can. We're going to go 4 to 4. Hate that for me. Yep. Really hate that for me. If you fail and you are not in a vehicle, take a damage. Okay, so I take the damage, I put it on me. I use bandages to heal the leg injury. Okay. I don't like that I'm basically dead here. That's bad. Enemy phase. The Terror hunts to Lonely Isle, where it is waiting for Silas to emerge so that it can spring its trap on him. But no more leg injury. Upkeep, we draw a card, we gain a resource. Quick thinking. That's going to be good. 3 out of 9 doom. I'm not even going to get any of these things, am I? I'd need at least the yellow key. We draw an encounter card. Dragged under. If you're in a vehicle, leave it. You cannot enter vehicles. Okay. This is obviously as Silas leaves the river back to the outskirts of the Lonely Isle, the creature has the fishing vessel in its grasp, right? And it's going to attempt to, well, drag it under, basically. So I can't enter vehicles. Not so good. Okay. Okay. So let's contemplate here. What do I want to do? First action. Do I want to... I'd love this clue, but I'd rather destroy the Terror? Let's think about this for a moment, shall we? Let's think about this, shall we? I'd love to take out the Terror of Devil's Reef. It's a victory point. It's much more in my wheelhouse, as it were. I feel like it's going to take a long time to sort of chip away at it. But it is something that I can kind of deal with. I could get one more clue off this location, possibly. No, let's do it. Let's try to take out the creature. Silas heads out to the ship. But of course it is already within the grasp of the Terror. This creature has its long tentacles around the ship, threatening to crush it entirely. He waves his knife, trying to catch the glint of the dying light to distract the creature. Let's attack it. Should I evade it first? It has Retaliate, which I can use Perseverance on. Oh, not at all, Crosshair. Welcome back, Crosshair. Quick update for you. There's a lot happening on the board. Not sure how long you've been gone. Silas is very close to being dead. His leg injury has been bandaged, so that's good. We went up to the Lonely Isle to try to find more of the keys that we need to get into the other key locations. Not looking good. I need a clue off the river, but whatever. I decided instead of getting the clue off the underground river, I'm going to try to kill this thing. This is the Terror of Devil Reef. Abomination. 3 combat, 9 health, 3 evade. Hunter, massive, retaliate. Let's party. Yeah, basically. Since the package, okay. I think that's about it then, Crosshair. That's the big thing to catch you up on. It's dragging the ship under, the fishing vessel, so Silas can't enter the vehicle until he's dealt with that. But we are, yeah, of course it was on the back of the agenda. You're absolutely correct. We're going to fight this thing. I have 4 combat, 5 with Thomas Dawson, 6, 7, 8 with brute force, 9 with quick thinking, 9 to 3. That's a big success. Okay. Get an action back. We put 3 damage on the creature. 3 out of 9. We are going to next. Yeah. It's not good. Which is rough because that means bandages don't even work anymore. Right? I have to take the damage. Then spend the supply and heal a damage. Presumably, as soon as I'm just going to check, but as soon as I take the damage, I'm dead, right? Presumably. Health? Defeat? What would it be under defeat, probably? Defeat. Defeat. If an investigator has as much or more damage on it as it has health, that investigator is defeated. Straight up. So yeah, bandages is useless unless I get Mr. Jacob down, which I might try to do. I could evade and put Jacob down. That might be good. But then I can't play Perseverance. So that's bad. Let's evade this creature. 4 to 3. I don't love that. But then turns off retaliate. So yeah, 2 kicks at the can. 4 to 3. -1. Evaded. I don't even think I'm going to be able to deal with this thing. Last action, we're going to attempt to chop at it with the meat cleaver, I guess? I don't know. Yeah. It gets one get out of jail free card, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with that. Because it does exactly, you're right, Crosshair, it does exactly 4 damage and horror. 4 damage and or horror. We're going to attempt to chop at it. I think Crosshair, Silas is, you know, it's interesting. We had a flashback in that initial scenario, a battle with a horrifying devil, if we recall, which is this thing. And now I think this is the flashback we were having. Can we defeat the creature? Let's go 5, 6, 7 with meat cleaver. Do I want to take a horror to deal 2 damage? Yes. Let's do it. So that's, what did I just say? 7 to 3? Yeah. Good. 2 more damage goes on the Terror of Devil Reef. That's 5 out of 9 for this thing. And I'm terrified for my life. That's okay. Enemy phase. No enemies hunt or anything. Upkeep. We draw a card. We gain a resource. The Terror readies, rearing and smashing at the ship, which has somehow managed to not founder yet, as chunks of the land are simply pushed away down into the ocean. This creature is ancient, and it is massive, and it is here to destroy him. Silas Marsh. We go to 4 out of 9 Doom. We draw an encounter card. Horrors from the Deep. Test Agility 2. If you fail, take 2 damage. No thanks. I'd rather not. The location is not flooded, so we're going to just straight try to pass this test. 4 to 2. That's still a -1, so we're good. The horrors are coming from the deep, but we are all right so far. No resourcefuls. I think we need to evade. We need to put down Jacob for the heals. For the soak. Choppy. Actually, if I do 2 meat cleaver attacks, it will die. It also has retaliate. But that's okay, right? I mean, it's not okay. I'm obviously going to, cock it up. But I could be lucky as well. I have to take a horror with the meat cleaver. But that's okay. I think that's doable. Let's do it. There's only one way to really succeed thinks Silas, and that is to risk it all. This creature is enough to sink any vessel that he's ever been on. And yet, here he is, toe-to-toe with the creature. We take a horror to deal +1 damage. Yeah, well, okay, Weirdness. Look, I get it. I get what you're saying, Weirdness, but just, you know, bear with me here. I gotta risk something here. 5, 6, 7 to 3. Cultist, -2. Not a fail. So that's 2 more damage. Goes on the creature. Last action. We take another horror with the meat cleaver to try to do the last 2 damage. Silas has managed to somehow chop off parts of its limbs. As the creature is more and more incensed, it's kind of flailing around with little like stubs. He's managed to get in near the base of it, which has come out of the water. It has, incredibly, despite being squid-like, it has a mouth filled with rows upon rows of razor-sharp teeth, and Silas is going to try to jump inside and stab up into the roof of its mouth. Let's go. I took the horror already. 5, 6, 7 combat. A skull. -1. It is enough. We defeated a creature I can heal. Holy crap. The terror of Devil Reef is no more. My limbs, no! It sinks back into the water, not moving. Thomas Dawson, who had been firing, basically blind over the side of the ship, peers out over the edge. My God, what the hell was that thing? Silas just spits some blood up into the water. Doesn't matter anymore. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jenny. Last action. We gotta deal with this goddamn dragged under, because it is still the limbs of the creature are still wrapped around the ship, so we have to try to disentangle them. I have 5 combat, 5 to 3. Yep. Bless. Take it. Good. No problem. Dealt with. So I can now free trigger get on the ship. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, I don't want to do that. That was foolish. I'm not getting on the ship because this tidal tunnel might have a key on it that I want. But I did defeat the creature, and I am thrilled for myself. We are very close to death. I have to remove the bless from the bag. I'm very close to death. I don't like that. Upkeep draws us a card and gains us a resource. Let's take heart. I think we're playing Jacob Morrison down over top of our good friend Thomas Dawson, who may have been very injured in the massive battle. We go to 5 out of 9 doom. It's not enough time. We draw an encounter card. It's dragged under again, sure. Yeah, keep those don't worry about that, Crosshair. I'm not making that mistake again. Twice, 3 times. Who cares? Oh, the thing is, Jacob Morrison doesn't do anything unless we have Bless in the bag. But I also, can't afford to... I can't afford to just, I need to not die. This is the problem. Yeah, okay. Well, if I need to, right? If I need to, I'll get dead, and I'll play Jacob on top of him. On top of his corpse. Okay. Well, we won't deal with dragged under just... Yeah, we should, right? We should deal with it now. Ugh, no, because I'm not getting into a vehicle right now. So it doesn't matter. We're venturing into this other tidal tunnel, which is a bootlegger's hideaway. Choose a key, randomly, put it on the thing. This is another place where bootleggers have obviously come to do their best to run their, there's distillery tables, do their best to run their business out of their smuggling operations. Yeah, low, key, come on. After the bootlegger's hideaway is revealed, choose a set key. If you control the black key, gain 5 resources. I do not. 4 shroud, 1 clue. I moved in. I need to get this key. Do we fail? Do we fail ahead? Yes, I think we do. I'm going to commit Take Heart and go 2 to 4. 0 is a fail, but no bad stuff happens, so I draw 2 and gain 2. Okay. Also, this is not particularly helpful, unfortunately. Oh, actually, damn, sorry. I messed up. Good evening to you, Requiem Lost. Hello and welcome to Doomed. Wonderful to have you here. To give you a brief catch-up on what's happening, Silas Marsh, there's a lot happening on this board here. Silas Marsh, the sailor, has ventured out to Devil Reef, where he hopes to find proof that one of the cults, or a cult here in Innsmouth, is... what is it doing? Like, trying to find proof that the cult has... Well, it's hiding something out here. Something to do with the town, the control over the townspeople. So far, he's found a number of pieces of proof, but no way into the locations that have those pieces of proof, which is less good. So we'll figure that out as soon as we can. Okay, I moved in, I played Take Heart. I should have actually passed with Lucky, but I didn't. And then last action, yeah, I'm gonna play Keepsake. I think we're kind of out of time here in terms of the scenario. Enemy phase, no enemies. Upkeep, we draw a card, we gain a resource. Eureka. Oh, Eureka! I found it. No bad thing. We go to 6 out of 9 Doom. So theoretically, this would have to be the right key. I'd have to get down here to the Deep One Grotto and then get the purple thing. But, man, you never know. Ooh, Psychic Pull. Okay, I'm going to quickly just look at Bootlegger's Hideaway. So obviously Silas is in here. He left Thomas Dawson on board the fishing vessel. He is hurt from the attack, from the massive creature, the Terror, which now lies dead in the lonely Isle Bay, floating gently against the shore. Suddenly, a call from behind him. It's strange. It could be his mother's voice, but it could be anyone's as well. Not so good. Psychic Pull. Discard a random card from your hand. Test Will X. X is the printed cost of that card. If you fail, lose an action. Well, not ideal because I'd rather not lose some of these cards, but I have to because it says to. Crosshair, help. Help. I lost the perseverance, Crosshair, help. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Oh, right, no, then now I have to test. It's okay, I mean, it's not okay. If I can get an Elder Sign, I can get the Resourceful to fire and pull it back. Otherwise, I am in hashtag deep shit. I can also just try to resign at this point, right? Like, I'm almost at that point. So, test Will 2. If you fail, lose an action. Well, I don't want to. That would be really cool. Let's go 3 to 2. Cultist? -2 if you fail and it's an attack or evasion. Okay, it's not an attack or an evasion. So I could Lucky to save an action, and I think I will. I don't really want to lose an action. So the Psychic Pull almost draws him back out of the cave, but he shakes it off. We're going to try to get this clue, get this key, and keep moving. It's not ideal that it's the old 2 to 4, but we'll try it all the same. We're going to go 3 to 4, and just, well, I'm just going to hope. 3 to 4. Ooh! Elder Sign. Okay. An Elder Sign is +0, which means I still need the Lucky to pass. So I will. How? Oh, no, actually, I don't necessarily, because... Sorry. Elder Sign. Silas, rummaging around, opens just a random kind of cabinet, and at the back, an old map rolled up, tied with twine. It seems ancient. Thank you, Crosshair. Honestly, Crosshair, what kind of psychic crap is this anyway? You may commit a skill from your discard pile to this test. After this test ends, return it to your hand. Now, what do I want a skill. Yes, well, right, we just talked about this. It's going to be resourceful, which means I pass. which means I can get another card back, which is going to be Perseverance. Thank you. And Eureka Fires, which means I can search the top 3 cards of my deck, which is all of this. Ew. I'm going to take Inquiring Mind. Inquiring Minds want to know. Sorry, I was going, ugh, because one of the cards that's left, I forgot, of course, is my weakness. The Dreams of the Deep. Okay. Okay. So we passed, we get the clue, and more importantly, we look at the key. Holy shit, Crosshair. It's the yellow key. Okay. Okay. No bad thing. No bad thing. Second action, we move. Third action, we have to test to get rid of Dragged Under so that we can get on the ship, the boat. And then the boat will take us on to the stars. Well, no, it'll take us to the Hidden Cove, which will hopefully get me to the Deep One Grotto, which will hopefully get me this purple key, which is... Oh, you got that key. Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you, Requiem. I'm concerned. It's a map, right, Requiem? It's just a map to the area. Oh, God. Let's test. 5 combat versus 3 to try to get rid of the tentacles covering the ship. I can't commit Inquiring Mind, so Inquiring Minds do not want to know. 5 to 3. Oh, I clicked it twice. I shouldn't have. Good enough. Dragged Under is gone. Free trigger. Get on the boat, you silly, silly sailor. Upkeep brings me... Oh, God. It's the old key ring. At least it's not that stupid backwards blue key. Eric, the Heart of the Cards. My God, you activated my trap card. Okay. 7 out of 9 Doom. We are in the hashtag in the thick of it. Ideally, I'm not going to talk about the ideal exact pattern of actions, but basically, we go to the Hidden Cove, we run back through the underground river, we go to the Deep One Grotto, we get the purple key, something happens, then we go all the way back to Churning Waters where we resign. If my math is right, I'm going to do all the actions now. Fishing vessel moves to a connecting location. Balls. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to resign. And I think I have 6 actions. I'm pretty sure I don't have enough, unfortunately, but you never know. Maybe it's worth getting the purple key and being defeated? I mean, that seems like a terrible idea, right? Okay, Requiem's like, I'm sure you don't want it. Also, let's see what the upkeep gives. Ooh, Psychic Pull. I swear to God, Psychic Pull. So, Psychic Pull, discard a random card from your hand, test Will X. X is the printed cost of that card. Coming in hot! Jacob! No! It's fine. It's not fine, obviously. Psychic Pull, I'm testing 2 Will versus 3. I'm sorry, 3 to 3. Uh-oh. It's a fail. I am in a vehicle, so I don't take a damage. Okay, so I fail, so I lose an action. I mean, I hate it. Okay. Now, we're in the ship. Let's just... I think I just did this math, but let's just see if I can do this again. I could... Oh! This might be better. Slightly better. No. Okay, hang on. I've got this. The fishing vessel can only move to ocean locations, which is not the caves that are connected to the oceans. This lonely island is not connected to the cove where I want to go. However, here's my thought. Move to the Black Reef. Move to the cavern. Move to a flooded cave location, which will be the Deep One Grotto. Next turn, take the keys, or the key. 1, 2, 3, no action to resign. I'm dead. Okay. Because the thing is, yeah, the boat only goes to oceans. which again, like, makes sense, right? So I can use these underwater caverns as kind of like a... I can use them as sort of a shortcut, right? 1 to the Black Reef. Oh, and I only actually have 2 actions anyway, so 2 to the underwater cavern. Oh, bye, Aragwen. Thank you so much. It's wonderful. Wonderful to have you here on the stream. Have a good rest of the night. This should be over quite soon. I have, I think, 5 action remaining, and I don't have enough to get to the Deep One Grotto. Now, what I could do instead is try to get this underground river clue, which would give me a victory point. A victory point means XP. XP is good stuff. I already have quite a few XP on the board, which is good. Okay. Yeah, 1 to the Black Reef. 2 to the underwater cavern. That's the end of my turn. Action. Move to the Deep One Grotto because it's a flooded cave. Free trigger, pick up the thing, and then I'd have 2 left. I'd have to move to the underground river. I'd have to move to the hidden cove. And then I would be at 9 doom. It would tick over, and presumably that's it. So, if I had a card that gave me an extra action, which I do, but I'm probably not going to get out of the bin, because I don't have any way of, like, getting stuff out of the bin right now. That would be useful. So I'm thinking disastrously, rather than... Because here's the thing, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Correct. Ah! Good question. Really good question. This will be a first, I think, for Doomed. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I flipped the... Uh-oh. Oh, jeez. Requiem, did you... Just gonna go back. Now, how hilarious would it be if it didn't reload? Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Good God, that would be terrible. Okay. What the hell is going on, Silas? What is happening? Rip table. Okay. Yes, I am 2 actions short. If I had in my hand quick thinking, it could potentially get me an extra action, but only if I'm taking a test, which I'm not anyway. So no. Like, because, yeah, Crosshair, I don't have it. This is the other problem. I don't have any cards that say, like, move, free trigger move, you know, or, like, yeah, well, basically any cards that say move, which would be ideal. This is the question. This is the point, actually. So the question is, do I just move and resign at Churning Waters, which I'm allowed to do, and I can do that right now. Do I... Well, that's the other point, too. Yeah, exactly. I don't have 21 action turns. You son of a gun. But that's what I mean, is, like, I don't have any extra actions. But this is actually... I should point this out, Crosshair. This is exactly the kind of situation where Jenny would be great, because multiple action turns are useful when you have a bunch of moving and picking stuff up to do. No tests, because as you remember, you've taken 7 action turns where 6 of them were on a single test, right? Like, it happens, because not everything is fair in life. But if it's just like move, pick up the thing, move, like, that's fine, you know? And in this scenario, I guess it happened. Okay. Go to the underground river, get the clue, come back, get on the vessel. Oh God, hang on. Would I have any... I would have no free actions. If I mess this up, I would have no free actions. Move to the river, get the clue. Next turn, move back, move to the Churning Waters, resign. I can't afford the trauma. I don't have the ability to, like, evade and move, which would be good, or something like that would be really cool. Because I feel like, what if there's an enemy on the top of the encounter deck next turn? So, despite the fact, I think, that Silas has lots of chutzpah, and despite the fact that he has a lot of drive, he's already managed to kill the terror of Devil Reef, so he and his throbbing leg are going to move to the churning waters. The deep one bull engages me, which means I need to discard a card from my hand. I'm going to discard Keyring, and then I'm going to resign. Last action. I have a whole extra turn that I didn't use, quote unquote, but it's too risky for a single victory point. I feel very strongly about that. Resign. I did not control all 3 keys, so I will not advance. I will instead go to... I'd love to know what those are. Resolution 1. It's true. That is a good point. I could have just left it behind. With daylight fading and the tide rising to swallow the various islands off the coast of Innsmouth, you decide to make your way back to the harbor with your discoveries. Found what you're looking for? Mr. Moore asks once you've made it to the coast safely. Truth be told, you're not completely sure. Yeah, Requiem, mine too. I shouldn't have used that word, and I don't regret it. What you found was startling. The coves and tidal caverns of Devil Reef were home to not just to relics of the Esoteric Order of Dagon, but a horde of strange creatures, hybrids between fish, man, and monster. You might have escaped with your life, yes, but the horrors you saw in those caves will stay with you forever. Sharp, jagged teeth, blood-stained altars, unholy prayers, signs of a coming catastrophe. It still haunts you even after your escape. Is Innsmouth truly safe? Is any land at all? Each investigator earns experience equal to victory X. Don't spend any of it yet. I will find that in a moment. Find the Terror of Devil Reef. If it is in the victory display, record in your campaign log that the Terror of Devil Reef is dead. Huzzah! I feel like that's useful at least, right? Like, whoop, dead. That's at least kind of useful. Proceed to Interlude 3, Beneath the Waves. Do not move the purple, black, or white key from their current position. The location of each will be important during Interlude 3. Okay, let's look at experience for victory points. 1 for the Terror. 1, come on. 2 for this bootlegger's hideaway. 3 for this other bootlegger's hideaway. 4 for this underground river. Yeah, 4. 4 experience. That's good. I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do. I got a victory! Guys, what is the top? Psychic pull. Okay, so I could have survived. But that's our... Oh, actually, no, I couldn't have, because if I was forced to lose an action, I would have died. And just out of curiosity... I need to know what happens if I get defeated, but I won't do that on stream. Interlude 3. Beneath the Waves. You bounce through your memories, struggling to return to the present. You remember a dark cell, a knife at your throat, a man with wide, unblinking eyes wearing a long hooded robe. Osiros, another voice calls. These ones were found in Dagon's lair as well. We believe they were the ones snooping around Devil Reef. Osiros nods. The knife at your throat digs deeper. Take what they have stolen to the lighthouse at once. It's time to begin our great work. None will disrupt the Order's business ever again. Your mind snaps back to the present. The rumbling of an automobile engine grows as your senses return. Agent Harper grips your shoulder, and peers into your eyes. Another vision, she utters with a hint of surprise. Do you remember something? What was it? You shake the ache from your pounding skull and ask Harper if the name Osiros means anything. Silas Marsh. He's the keeper of the old lighthouse on Falcon Point. Why? What did you see? Silas Marsh, of course, being one of Silas's long-lost ancestors. Well, not ancestors, but you know what I mean. Family members. Depending on which keys were on the act or controlled, read each of the sections below that apply. So unfortunately, I did not get any of the keys. I can see briefly that if we got one of the keys, we get additional experience and we remove a bad stuff token, which is too bad. If no keys were on the act or controlled by an investigator. You struggle to remember anything of value beyond your initial exploration of the reef. Burn. You recall the uncanny creatures you fought, the islands you explored, and the steadily rising tides, but no more. Secrets must be hidden in these reefs, but either you were unable to find them, or you simply don't recall. Your head throbs with pain as you struggle to summon memories from the void within your mind. That's okay, Agent Harper says, placing a hand on your shoulder. We'll figure it out together. It seems your memories are starting to return. How do you feel? You struggle to find a reply that fits. Part of you is relieved to have your memories returning, but the rest of you wishes they hadn't been so vivid. You wonder once more if you should simply take this opportunity to drive back to Arkham and never set foot in Innsmouth again. Then your gaze meets Harper's, and you see the fierce resolve in her eyes. The same resolve stirs in you. You say nothing, but she seems to understand. This must be a lot to take in. For now, let's focus on getting to Falcon Point. If what you say is true, and Osiris is part of the Esoteric Order of Dagon, there should be answers there. She looks over her shoulder, peering into the western horizon. The sun dips just below the tree line, bathing the sky in deep scarlet. Something tells me this isn't over. Hi, Kung Fu Fenris. Welcome to Doomed. One is, a relative term. I wasn't defeated. I'm counting it as a win. I got some experience. Silas almost found the information he needed to pick up, a strange idol. But he did not, which is too bad. But he didn't quite make that, but he still did pretty well. There was more stuff there. Yeah, it's coming. Return Thomas Dawson to the... I was just talking to Kung Fu Fenris. Return Thomas Dawson to the collection. If an investigator earned Alina Harper, they may add her back to their deck. I did not, so I'm going to remove Thomas Dawson. With a fragment of your memories returned to you, past events become clearer. Each investigator may now spend experience. Yay! So I have 8 XP total, which will really kick Silas into high gear, because next time, whenever next time is on Doomed, we're proceeding to Scenario 5, Horror in High Gear. Now, I don't want to say that it's like my favorite thing ever, but let me just point out, well, no, what do you think, what does the title suggest to you and the art here, right? This is a car. This is either Thomas Dawson or Alina Harper's car. Yeah, as if I could take it, Crosshair. That'd be nice. It'd be really nice if I could take a card like that. But I can't. Boo-hoo. Don't worry, I have other things. My uncle has one of those. It's a packet of race. Vroom, vroom. Oh, God. Requiem's correct. Oh, hey there, Pukajutsu. Welcome to Doomed. Yeah, I think we're just going to make a quick little Timmy's run. Hey, pick me up a double-double there, bud, if you don't mind. Oh, and if you have any crawlers, make sure there's crawlers for me, too. And a box of 20 Timbits. Man, I got a rumbly in this tumbly. What is this Ontarian accent I'm trying? Is it working? Doesn't really matter. Exactly. I am so thrilled. This is, from what I recall, this is a scenario in which you basically are trying to stay ahead of your pursuers in a car, and you're like, taking tight corners and stuff. Really is exciting. Kung Fu Fenris has been playing a strange game called Space Station Zero, a miniature game. I would be curious to know more, Kung Fu Fenris. In the meantime, I will point out that we, as is I think par for the course here on Doomed, it's a room, a doom scenario. As is kind of relatively common here on Doomed when I'm playing solo, it's like almost but not quite. I really do want to get to a point where I can, like, you know, really rack through and like crush a scenario with someone. Ooh, stranded on a space station. I like it. It sounds really cool. Oh, Doom would be on a train. It's a good point. I think that's it for me for today. Thank you all very much for joining me on Doomed. I am thrilled that I'm not dead again. I really hope that for some reason Silas will be at his best in a car. Doesn't really make sense, but I'll allow it. As Crosshair is mentioning here, tomorrow we've got Punchy Book Club happening on Elizabeth's channel, and then another episode of Changeling Riverwild. If you were present last week, you mentioned a couple things in regards to Changeling Riverwild, which is important if you were there. And if you weren't, I'll tell you now. We are planning on rounding out the campaign soon. #SoonTM. That's probably within the next few weeks, whenever that lands. We're then taking 3 weeks off streaming on RPG Clinic on Sundays, but it's so that we can prepare for another very exciting game, which I misspelled naturally. Blades in the Dark, a miniature campaign set in the city of Duskwall, run by yours truly, me. I'm excited to jump into the STGM chair, try my hand at running something a bit more long form. I've only run short form things, which tend to devolve into intense absurdity really fast, which is fine. But I want to try something a bit different. Tell my wife I wish I had... Oh. Tony. I love Tony. So, thank you all very much for this. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, though, on Punchy Book Club and on RPG Clinic Changeling Riverwild. I know weirdness. I'm really jazzed about it, too. Thanks for joining me. Send all your wishes of luck to Silas. Crosshair, if you could send more of that luck to Silas, that'd be great. I just ran out of actions. I was this close. Okay, thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful night. See you next time on Doomed. Ooh.